Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is not a British light cruiser, it is a French heavy cruiser, the Charles Martel, which is a tier 8 French, well, it's the tier 8 French tech tree heavy cruiser. There is actually a French light cruiser, the Bayard, which is available. It's a premium ship, which I don't have, unfortunately, which is actually just a 6-inch gun version of the Charles Martel. But the Charles Martel has done good duty. I must admit that it's probably, apart from La Glacinière, for me, it's probably one of the best ships in the line. Now, other people do say that the tier 5 and the tier 4 are actually quite good as well. Played at a distance, played correctly, yes, they can be very effective. Not my style, they're a little bit fragile when I was playing them, so I don't have great memories, but they are actually very effective ships. But the Charles Martel is, well, it's actually it's got good punch, it's reasonably tough, it's quick. It is quite large, and it does need to be played at a distance, which of course is why I'm hiding inside the cap here. That Kagero is, well, I was hoping he'd come around the other side of the island. In fact, I'm probably lucky that he didn't, because he would have flushed me straight out into the path of the other ship, that Amalfi out there. But and there's a battleship taken up the rear, which is never a good sign. Anyway, he's come back around. Unfortunately, I don't have any torpedoes. Been a long time for them to reload, but he's a bit far out. So we're just going to keep the turn. Now, what will happen is that he'll launch his torpedoes. He's probably going for the battleship, so as long as they don't go into the shadow of that battleship, I should be fine. And there we go, we get the shots out. The battleship is heading into the line of the torpedoes. So he got a lot of hits, 3 torpedoes out of, oh, there he goes, he's not dead, he is now. 3 torpedoes out of 8 didn't get, so 5 out of 8 got hits, which is a pretty good going. But that's all the only torpedoes he's going to get out during this game, so in that respect it's a bit of a failure. Right, what do we got here? We've got ourselves North Carolina. We've got ourselves, that's a Monarch by the look of the profile. Scary that I can view ships from the profile and understand what they are. Obviously, let's get some focus going. So we've got the A cap and the C cap. I've managed to not get torpedoed by that little destroyer, which is nice. And we've managed to get him out of the game without too much damage to the team. 5 out of 8 hits isn't bad, spread across 2 ships. And here we are, we're going for the Monarch. Getting a few bounces. Oh, look at that. I'm going to save my torpedoes for a bit of closer range work. In fact, probably I should have fired them at about that point, to be fair. Because now he's going to be behind the island. And, yeah, if we get into really close combat range with this guy, it's not going to be fun. So he's turning to engage his next target, which means he's actually turning away from the cap. We're going to try this Amalfi, see if we can knock some chips off him. There's not much I can do with that Monarch in the shadow of that island. So the good thing with the destroyer out of the game is that this is a a domination game, which means capturing caps is where it's at. And the last thing you need is the little destroyer out there basically going out and capturing a whole lot of capture zones. Here we go. It's North Carolina has come around the other side. He's doing a bit of a number on our North Carolina, but still, yeah, we will wear one of the Amalfi's torpedoes. But he is being, well, he's saving himself, which is pretty good, but he is being pretty ineffective. But then again, he hasn't got a lot of support. And I think the problem with the team is that they came in waves. So the destroyer came in without the Amalfi as backup. The Amalfi sort of let the Monarch sort of get a little bit ahead of the game. And I think if they'd pressed more as a group, we'd have been in a lot more trouble. But as it is, I'm heading back to where I last saw North Carolina, which, to be fair, is, I think he's gone actually at this stage. But we do need to capture that capture zone. But I think he's alive at this point when I was playing the game. Each of us is heading around one side of the island. So my teammate in the Roma is going around the right. I'm going around the left. And wherever he is, no, he's still alive. Although he's facing off a Roma with low health, so he won't be alive for long. We've got AP loaded. We'll get out of the shadow of the island, loaded out the front. Fire the torpedoes. I always do that. I fire the torpedoes at dying ships. Those torpedoes would have been fantastic for dealing with this little sucker, because I would have been able to I would have been able to flush them through that smoke. But as it is, he's going into the clear. He will have fired his torpedoes. I'm turning in. Notice I'm adjusting my speed, or if you haven't been noticing, I'm adjusting the speed so that his little firing cone sort of goes all over the place. As a destroyer captain, some know, I sort of ignore the firing cone, or I use it as a guide for offset when fighting against destroyers, but against heavier ships, I generally rely on it, and if it's dancing all over the place, that's not a good sign. Really showing off some lack of shooting skills here, because that took about 3 goes to get him down, but down he went. So we've got reasonable health. I fired off my my repair kit, but I'm not really too sure why I did that. Get some torpedoes out in front of the island. Here's, what's this? This is the Amalfi, is it? So we're just going to keep the pressure on. Oh, look at that. Good long range guns. Don't want to get behind the island, because I do have an battle honors mission with this ship to destroy something like 35 enemy cruisers, and I think I'm 23 in to that, and then it becomes a damage mission, which is just a much easier mission. So we're getting some copper out of the ship at some point. So oops, then all of a sudden we realize, and this is the point at which I suddenly realized that there was one of them and one of me, and he was a battleship and I'm a cruiser. Now, he's unlikely to take me down in one shot, but there is absolutely no point in taking chances. We've got the game won. We've got the points. I am going to basically secure those by hiding all those points in behind this island, because it would be really unforgivable just to basically get accidentally slammed and a whole lot of citadels knocked out or something. Unlikely to happen to a nearly full health cruiser, but still. At some point you have to keep counting the points, and if you don't count the points, sometimes you make a mistake. And look at all those medals. Okay, then, including a last hope, which obviously he was hoping to get as well. But yeah, there you go. The Charles Martel, great at long range. I find that I probably am fairly aggressive with it, but yeah, that's the ship.